Once again, we are back on Boond Soch PT Talk Train of Thought with a series of an episode with Mr. Virendra Gupte, the consultant, corporate trainer, and the company director, and also was a part of Tata International Limited for 37 years. It's a great insights what was shared with the target audience on exclusively on this Tea Talk Boond Soch. A great learning for the MBA students and for the professionals who are listening to Mr. Virendra Gupte on this show. सर नाउ आपकी पूरी जिंदगी की कहानी हमने एक माला में पिरो दी है. अभी उसमें से की लर्निंग लेसन फॉर अ टारगेट ऑडियंस, कैन यू प्लीज शेयर विद दैट?
Well, doctor, I must confess that it's the first time I have sat through such a marathon interactive sessions of this kind. And frankly, if I retrospect, there's nothing earth-shattering that I achieved in my career or in professional life, except that being a sincere doer in terms of whatever role and responsibility at a family, personal level or at a professional level I have played. And over a period of 37 years, of course, you garner experience.
Yes.
So today it was that journey of nostalgia as well, going down memory lane, jogging your memory, recalling your old days in the organization, how you started, and so on. So it has been a wonderful morning to interact with you and share some thoughts with our target audience, or since we all are on the learning curve. It has been a great learning for me as well from you and the initiatives you have taken under this extraordinary umbrella, the Tea Talk concept as a concept. As we say, our life is a journey, and therefore we are all work in progress in that sense.
Yeah.
And it's a journey, we are traveling that journey. So what I will try to attempt to do is to share a few thoughts which matter to me. And I think that is something which everybody will endorse as something which is a part of their life, their DNA as well. First and foremost, I speak about personal and professional integrity. What is embedded in you as an individual, your family value systems, the sanskars as we say.
Sanskar.
And therefore that path of righteousness. And I think that is something which is non-negotiable. For example, it doesn't matter, at what level or hierarchy you may belong to, what is your net worth, and so on. What is important is how well are you accepted and respected. Do you respect others? Because respect begets respect.
Correct.
And therefore, those aspects to my mind are very, very critical and non-negotiable. That is where, whether in personal life or professional life, how you are as an individual matters. And therefore, personal integrity and professional integrity cannot be separated. They are an integral part of your persona. And therefore, as an individual, whether you are dealing with your subordinates, your peers, superiors within the company, outside the organization, etc., people always watch you through a magnifying glass or a microscope.
Correct.
And therefore, you to the best extent possible. It's not that we are gods.
Correct.
Or we are infallible. We make our own share of blunders, mistakes, errors, faux pas, and cause of embarrassment, and so on. As long as it is not deliberate, as long as it is not with a sinister motive, malafide intentions, then to that extent, I guess it is a learning part. You learn from. The second important thing which I consider very vital is our purpose of life. What I would say is know thyself. Try to look inwards. Try to be in a reflective mode. Because on the one hand you are traveling the journey. That's the karma, the path of karma in terms of personal, family obligations, professional obligations, obligations to people around you. And whilst traveling the journey, we need to also say know thyself. Your intrinsic worth, your capabilities, what you can do and what you can't do. Many times people get carried away by vanity, false pride, false praise. Sometimes we develop a larger than life persona. We exaggerate about ourselves. I think it is important that we remain as grounded as possible, as authentic as possible. And therefore it is important to be in a self-reflective mode. In terms of in strategy, we may speak about course correction, mid-course correction, etc. But what about ourselves?
Correct.
So know thyself is something which means you reflect constantly what things are gone right, what things are gone wrong,
Yeah.
and then take corrective measures to the extent possible.
Mhm.
Number 2. Number 3, I would say we should be like a sponge.
Mhm.
Now, what is a sponge? Sponge absorbs water.
Correct.
In our context, it is about absorbing anything around us,
Mhm.
whether it is learning, experiences, knowledge, But it's not only observing human beings. Also, when you look at plant life and animal life and birds life, there's huge amount of learning out there.
Correct.
God is a teacher, and therefore the universe created is also teaching you, provided you have the humility to learn.
Correct.
And I think learning and absorbing like a sponge is important because as knowledge becomes, it's become perishable. Okay, in the sense that it becomes obsolete and so on, and therefore it is important to assimilate. And it's not only the formal knowledge; it's also the informal knowledge. It's about a trait or a practice of somebody. That somebody could be a bus conductor, for example. It could be a thela wala, somebody who could be a service provider, somebody who's managing the elevator of your office building or your society building. And therefore, it depends on your ability, willingness, and humility to learn, to absorb. Okay, based on observation, by assimilation, and so on. Because learning is, and that is one of the reasons why the Bombay Dabbawala is a Six Sigma organization.
Correct.
Now, which school and college did they go?
Correct.
Which quality standards? We spoke about SA 8000 and we spoke about Malridge, and we spoke about
26,000
ISOs and the Six Sigmas, etc. But they never had that privilege and that opportunity.
Correct.
But what mattered to them is their passion and their purpose.
Correct.
So whatever they do, okay, and it is not a rocket science type of a dabba where it is an alphanumerical code which takes the dabba to the right place with zero error across the length and breadth of Mumbai and outskirts. And there is it's a Six Sigma type of performance.
Correct.
And that is a learning for us because the so-called unlettered people in life, they are the ones who are your greatest teachers.
Correct.
And we tend to maybe overlook them. Maybe it doesn't register to us. Maybe we feel they are inconsequential, but they are all teachers.
Correct.
So I think to my mind that is something, a constant ability to absorb as much as we can.
Correct.
And then you do your filter process in terms of what is good, bad and ugly. That is left to you. Number 4, I would say, is success and failures both are your great teachers. If you are succeeded, how you are succeeded. What were the steps you took? And then how do you sort of replicate it? Try to be more efficient in that sense. Your deliverables, qualitative deliverables, your outreach. And failures are basically also necessary in life because that keeps you humble. Otherwise, history is full of examples of arrogant rulers, etc., tyrants. Right? And I think that is the God's way of putting a speed breaker. And therefore, failure is a teacher as well. It is okay to fail. But what is important is that you don't fail to learn the lesson out of that.
Correct.
Right? So that's something which is constantly accompanying you in your life. Definition of success and failure varies from people to people. Your definition of success will vary from somebody else's definition of success.
Correct.
Somebody might put it in material terms, in terms of their own metrics, in terms of material wealth maybe, and so on.
Correct.
For somebody it may be about accomplishment, enrichment.
Correct.
So I think it is left to each one of us. The next point which I covered in my talk earlier was that the devil lies in the detail.
Correct.
And that means you need the rigor of doing your homework well. To the extent you can comprehend. If you don't, then you need to consult people who are domain experts within the family, outside, etc. And you have to be well prepared. Like I remember when we were in school, I am sure, Doctor, you were also part of the Boy Scout movement. I was also a Boy Scout, etc. And therefore, the motto of the Boy Scouts across the world is be prepared.
Be prepared. Fine.
It's such a powerful message which we were told by our scout leaders and team leaders while we were in school, in primary school.
Correct.
But today, when I look at that be prepared mantra, it's a mantra.
Correct.
It's to be prepared in any circumstances.
In a world or whatever we can say like.
Right. So it is whether it's a cricket practice or whether it is about net practice or whether it is about rehearsing a show before an audience, whether it's a play, whether it's TV serial or a cinema or a movie,
Good.
or sitting together like us.
So it's a great 5 powerful punches to a life extract which you have given. I'm sure there's a lot of insights and the learning from your life journey of 27 years, and those 5 powerful punches are going to transform their mind. You did spoke in terms of an sanskar, which I think should be there, and we talk also in terms of an purpose. अगर मकसद नहीं है तो then I think there is a problem, and also in terms of an response, like you need to absorb the things faster, and also in terms of success and failure, and the devil lies in detail. I'm sure like it's all those 5 powerful punches for target audience will do a world of good for them. If you like this particular episode, go to www.ttalk.net, subscribe and like the channel as much as you can, and catch up with Mr. Virendra Gupte again on this Boond Soch for another powerful punch from his life journey. So thanks a lot for your presence on Talk Show. Thank you very much.